Well, congratulations, America. We are now in a full-blown trade war with our closest trading partners. Isn't that terrific? I want to I'm going to begin by playing a clip of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who has some words for the American people following the imposition of massive tariffs by our criminal piece of garbage president, Donald Trump. And Trudeau is taking the opportunity to speak directly to the American people. I'm going to play this, and then we've got some stuff to talk about. So watch this.
I want to speak first directly to the American people. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally. And we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning, markets are down, and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. They've chosen to raise costs for American consumers on everyday essential items like groceries and gas, on major purchases like cars and homes, and everything in between. They've chosen to harm American national security, impeding access to the abundant critical minerals, energy, building materials, and fertilizers that we have and that the United States needs to grow and prosper. They've chosen to launch a trade war that will, first and foremost, harm American families. They've chosen to sabotage their own agenda that was supposed to usher in a new golden age for the United States. And they've chosen to undermine the incredible work we've done together to tackle the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that must be wiped from the face of the earth. So on that point, let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today.
Okay, so there was the Canadian Prime Minister speaking directly to the American people, telling them, we didn't want to do this. We did not want to be in a trade war with you, but your government did this. Now, this was a great statement. I love it. I love that he spoke directly to the American people. The only issue I have with it, and it's a big point, although I understand why he chose the words that he did. But so that we're clear, Trudeau repeatedly said, your government did this. No, Donald Trump did this. One guy. This was not an all of government thing. This was not, debated in Congress by the representatives of the people. No, this was done by one psychopath. One convicted criminal buffoon did this. Just one guy, Donald Trump. I really wish he had said, instead of your government did this, I wish he said your president did this. But again, I understand. But I think if people spoke more directly about what is going on in this country and around the world because of this one guy, and called him out by name, I think it would be a little bit better. But whatever. Nonetheless, this was a really good statement by Trudeau. And yeah, so we are in a trade war, which is exactly what anyone who had more than 2 brain cells to rub together would have known would happen. Donald Trump was promising this all during the campaign. Remember? Tariffs. It's a beautiful word. Tariffs. He was going to solve all our problems with tariffs. We were going to pay off the national debt with tariffs. We were going to eliminate the income tax. We would not need an income tax because we'd be making so damn much money from these tariffs. But I guess it was supposed to, oh, that's Trump. That's right. That's what we were supposed to think, because that's what they told us. All these people, like in my last video, I talked about the Wall Street Journal and they're warning now that Trump's tariffs are going to put us into a second Great Depression. Those people endorsed Donald Trump. Those people constantly made excuses for Donald Trump, telling us every time he said something batshit crazy, like he's going to pay off the national debt and eliminate income tax by tariffs, they made excuses and said, oh, that's Trump just being Trump. He doesn't mean it. What do you think now, geniuses? All right, I want to read a little bit of an article here for you. This is in the USA Today. Canada and China swiftly announced retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. on Tuesday, shortly after long-threatened levies by criminal piece of garbage Donald Trump on those countries and Mexico took effect. President Donald Trump, the adjudicated rapist, his new 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada were imposed at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time, along with a doubling of duties on some Chinese goods to 20%. How wonderful. It's not like we import too much from China, right? Pretty much everything in Walmart now is going to go up. Trump's move effectively launched new trade conflicts with the U.S.'s top 3 trading partners and threatened to upend two-way annual trade worth, according to data from the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, nearly $2.2 trillion in 2024 alone. Wow. Good job, MAGA. And how about you people who were upset about the price of eggs? What do you think today, huh? Trump has accused all 3 countries of not doing enough to clamp down on drugs like the opioid fentanyl entering the U.S. That's bullshit. That's just the excuse. That's the justification. That has nothing to do with any of this. This was Donald Trump. He was going to do these tariffs, and fentanyl is the excuse. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Ottawa would respond with immediate 25% tariffs on $20.7 billion worth of U.S. imports and another $86.2 trillion if Trump's tariffs were still in place in 21 days. He said previously that Canada would target American beer, wine, bourbon, home appliances, and Florida grape juice. Quote, tariffs will disrupt an incredibly successful trading relationship. Yep. China immediately countered the U.S. duties with 10% to 15% tariffs on some U.S. agricultural products. Well, how about that, you farmers? Had you idiots who are farmers who voted for Donald Trump again, do you not remember what happened in the first term with Trump's tariffs on China? It destroyed your agricultural businesses. Actually, you probably don't mind too much because you benefited from Donald Trump's socialism. Because what happened was China was no longer buying your products, especially soybeans, and you guys were out billions of dollars. So what did Trump do? Well, he bailed you all out with taxpayer money. And so the truth of the matter is you actually made out pretty good now that I think about it, because you got to collect billions of dollars for not actually doing anything because China wasn't buying your stuff anymore. And so Trump bailed you out for not producing what you had previously been producing. So maybe that's why you did vote for him. Now that I think about it, you're all in for the Trump socialism when it benefits you. But socialism for anyone else, that's bad. But not you farmers, right? What else do we have here? In a press conference in Mexico City, what does Mexico have to say about all this? Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said there was, quote, no justification for Trump's tariffs, and that they were imposed, quote, despite our work against gangs and fentanyl. Yeah, because it's not about fentanyl. It has nothing to do with fentanyl. Okay, got enough of that. Let's see here. Oh, Forbes. This is in Forbes today. Check out this headline. Economic and market data signal a recession is coming. Well, isn't that great? A slew of economic data is signaling that a, quote, Trump session is around the corner. Well, I'm glad they're branding it a Trump session because that's exactly what it is. The impending economic contraction and possibly a recession, if I was your editor, I would scratch out the word possibly, but whatever, is primarily being caused by Trump's tariffs and the chaotic layoff of federal workers. Additionally, deportations of undocumented immigrants, as well as the fear thereof, is causing significant uncertainty in several important economic sectors such as construction, farming, hospitality, poultry, and small businesses. On Monday, a closely watched model of gross domestic product, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta's GDP Now, estimated significant decline of 2.8% in annualized growth for this quarter. This is a sharp contrast from the 2.3% increase last week. So yeah, they're predicting negative growth now. Negative growth because a recession is coming. Things were a lot better under Biden, don't you think? Other recent data and surveys also show troubling signs for the economy. The Consumer Confidence Index declined by 7 points in February. By the way, remind me again, because I just can't remember. Who was president in February? Wasn't that Trump? So that was Trump's first full month in office, and the Consumer Confidence Index dropped 7 points. The Purchasing Managers Index registered 50.3% in February, a 0.6 percentage point lower compared to the U.S. retail sales declined by almost 1%. Community banks were hit with a 12-year delinquency high of $6.1 billion. Oh, well, isn't that great? Isn't that just wonderful? Now, all of you geniuses who voted for Donald Trump because of the economy, what are you thinking now? It's barely been a month and everything is crashing around you. We're in a trade war. Inflation is going through the roof. The price of eggs has doubled, and I know you're all very upset about the price of eggs. And now the Trump's agricultural secretary of agriculture, whatever the hell her title is, she's saying to those people who are upset about the price of eggs, she's telling you, well, tough shit. If you're upset about the price of eggs, go get you some chickens and keep them in the backyard, and then you can have eggs for free. I'm not even joking. That's what she said. So you got that going on. Inflation. We're in a trade war. The Trump recession is around the corner. Man, what are you thinking now? You fucking idiots. You know, we were doing well. Things were going in the right direction. But no, they weren't getting good enough, fast enough for you guys who don't understand shit about anything. So instead, what you did, instead of voting to continue what was working, you decided to vote for a convicted felon, insurrectionist, adjudicated rapist. That's what you said, that the economy is so bad under Joe Biden that I'm going to vote for a criminal insurrectionist because things were so much better because he's such a successful businessman. I'm going to vote for the businessman. The guy who's declared bankruptcy 5 times, bankrupted friggin' casinos. He's had 1 million businesses fail. Trump steak, Trump vodka, Trump bottled water, Trump adult diapers. I mean, that one I made up. But again, I've mentioned this in the past. I think that's actually a good business idea for him. He could be their number one customer and spokesperson. Just saying. And if he does do this, I demand a cut of the profits. Anyway, congratulations, MAGA. Oh, and also, let me thank all of you morons who didn't even bother to vote at all. Because I heard from you guys too. And you said, oh, both of these candidates suck. There's no difference. I'm not going to bother voting. Good job, morons.